Fergus Hume was a British-born novelist whose family emigrated to New Zealand when he was 3 years old, while Hume himself moved later on to Melbourne shortly after graduation. Becoming a barrister's clerk, he wrote plays no more to perform until he, by the way, wrote a little novel called The Mystery of a Hansom Cab, a mystery novel which became an international bestseller, selling more than 1 million copies in total. Sadly, Hume sold the rights for the book for £50, and so basically got nothing out of its massive success, despite possibly the knowledge that his work helped to inspire Conan Doyle's A Study in Scarlet. It was, however, the start of a voluminous writing career, consisting sometimes of as many as 5 or 6 books published in a single year. Among his massive output, besides stories of mystery and detection, he also wrote lost race novels, stories of occult magic, and even some catastrophic science fiction. One of his more unusual novels is The Nameless City, a Rommany romance, published under a pseudonym in the US initially. The novel deals with a secret, nameless city that is the global homeland of the gypsies that they can flock to in times of trouble. A man, discovering his own gypsy heritage, is thrust into the affairs of this place at about the same time when a mysterious token summons him to Majorca to learn more about the equally mysterious woman he loves but who defers answering his proposal for a year for unspecified reasons. It's a good enough treatment of this unusual narrative, though the main character and the fiendish young witch Pepper seem to be the only really active participants of the plot, with everyone else either being fully in the background or just about avoiding to do so. The novel's main plot essentially is the chronicling of the various attempts at Pepper's to try and seize control over the city and thus enable her to become queen of the gypsies. However, there's no real serious challenge. Her machinations go on basically without a hitch, such as the very easy and obvious poisoning of the old woman and the main character's great-grandmother, who has been the current queen of the gypsies, and her other nefarious deeds like the murder of her own husband so she could try and wed the main character for political reasons, as well as to soothe her own vanity, and abusing her influence and her purported magical abilities in order to manipulate and threaten people to do what she wants. Basically, throughout the whole novel, she does these things like kidnap people, murder people, and imprison people, just so you can find out the secret name of the city, which would enable her to become queen. And as this word is only passed from one queen to another, and is only then told to 3 people condemned to death, who are used to confirm it upon the death and ascension of a new queen, throughout the whole novel, Pepper does these things in order to secure her place as leader of the city, and it seems to be building towards the main character somehow stopping her, somehow thwarting her at the last moment. But then she just becomes queen of the gypsies. She's never stopped. She never gets punished for any of her crimes. She gets to murder the queen, murder her own husband, attempt or threaten to murder the main character as well as his fiancée, and in the end, she gets to rule over the gypsy city while the main character leaves and then finds out later on that the reason for his love interest's reticence was concerns relating to her late husband's will, whereby, if she ever married again after his death, his entire fortune would be taken from her, which I would probably assume is not something that would be legally enforceable even then. Perhaps Hume wrote himself into a corner, but it's quite jarring how the whole conflict just sort of stops and Pepper just becomes queen, and the main character just up and leaves to marry his love interest, Mrs. Ingram. I do admit that left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, because before that, I was quite enjoying this story. I do honestly think this was not the original intention when Hume started writing it, but that he either had to finish quickly or simply couldn't find a way out of the mess he had made for himself, and so he had to just have the bad little win. Either way, it's still an interesting and unusual example of the lost race form, and definitely worth a quick read, if anything else, than for the setting and location.